Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4,
What up, what up? We're having some IT troubles. Lost a couple cameras. So I better have some IT. I got camera, I got audio or what? It's looking like a Day of the Dead out there, so I thought I would humor the situation. What's good in the hood? Audio and camera's good? Alright, good deal, good deal. Alright. A little bit of craziness. Sorry about the late start once again. It's always 8 o'clock that I noticed everything's not working. So you guys survived the weekend. Crypto a little weak. Market's a little weak. VIX 21. I just gave you guys a VIX chart inside OnlyFans. So make sure you keep up with that. Well, you know how it is. People only ever trust the right messenger. So I had to get the white face on so I could talk to y'all, man to man to man. Palantir. I could look at Palantir. Many men wish death upon me, indeed. But I'm still breathing, and so are you guys. Jerome Powell is a bitch. Janet Yellen for life. Well, yeah, Powell's definitely got a stance there that is not very helpful to the market, along with the fact they're doing a taper. There definitely is, some huge pressure on growth stocks, and crypto never really recovered. With markets pushing to all-time highs, crypto stayed suppressed until markets corrected, and then crypto corrected even more. So you don't think you can take your eyes off of it. Barring the Armageddon scenario that crypto has a complete winter cycle, we really don't see BTC, like I said from a while ago, going through 30K to allow people who missed it to get a shot at it, because ultimately there are some big hands out there that will buy just much more of it, Michael Saylor included. So I think we should stay looking at this nearer term, because there are some interesting sentiment indicators, namely humans that have returned to the market space that have been out for a while, that are looking for their chance to take a victory lap. So I think we take a look at a few things today that I think will be interesting to look at for us all. Stevens ST, do you think the launch of the James Webb Telescope is going to ignite further the race for space? I think the James Webb Telescope will be able to see shit that no one's even fathomed was out there. Whether or not they tell you what they see is different, right? Bubble Boy is back. Crypto Mar, you big mouth. Nobody knows Bubble Boy. They don't have context on that guy. I'd have to find some secret documents to fucking fully give you the context of what that guy's about. Let me see if I can quickly do it. If I can, I will. Let's see, Bubble Boy. I have some FUD folder documents for this guy. Let's see. The FUD folder. FUD archives. Here you are. Where did I stick this dude? The Winternomics archives. No, I definitely have him, but it's been a minute since I dug him up. I gotta remember which folder I stuck him in. But I have an interesting conversation he deleted, which kind of is his entire fucking claim to fame. But you want to talk about a guy that misleads people to their own death? This motherfucker has definitely got a few fucking thousand victims. I don't think off the top of my head I can find it as fast as I want to find it, to be honest. Let's see. He's in a recent folder. It's before and after. And these things aren't where they used to be. I'm a looking. You like that filter? I tried something a little different today. God, I gotta put him in the scan list folder so I never lose track of this dude. He's so full of shit. Alright, I'll have to keep looking for that one. I cannot find it off the top of my head right now. My bad. It's in here. Just don't know where exactly I stuck them. Oh, I found him. What do you know? There he is. So I don't know if I have my comment he responded to. But yeah, let's see. All right, how did I show this correctly? I need you to get your own page. All right, now I found it. I look at the weekend. I hope not. Oh man, how do I do this? All right, see if I can do this properly. By that, you have no idea what I mean. All right, so here we go, the TA police. So this is Bubble Boy. So back in the day, we ran to this pleb. He writes a thing called the Bubble, right? He was writing about the collapse of the U.S. economy in 2004. So if you guys remember the 2004, he's calling it a housing bubble, banking bubble. This is what he really is, right? So he's a college kid who writes a fucking blog post and calls the top of the market in 2004, which is horribly wrong if you know how far the housing market actually went and the stock market went in 2007. So he misses by a fucking mile, but he's able to get himself published in Forbes. And so he's this guy, economic analyst and Forbes contributor who advocates for blah, 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 recognized by the London Times for predicting the global crisis. So you want to see who the guys are who get to influence the media, who get to influence you and what you should buy and this, that, and the other. Director, yeah. Yeah, my camera. I got it. Okay, that's no good. I can't use that camera.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, like I said, we had mad IT difficulties, so we're gonna have to switch a few things up. I forgot that the whole cam situation because we had a camera issue this morning, so we're gonna go with that action. Because I did want you guys to see the cool light decor that Director Vale did, so fuck it, we'll just switch it up a little bit. There we go. All right, we'll just kill the side cam for today. All right, you guys see and hear everything? We're all good again? Mic check, 1, 2. I had some interesting thing plans for today. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, so I'm gonna try. Audio's good. All right. Only 244 is that right? A little light still. All right. Let me try and see if we can get this to work as a backup here. Always gets you when you're live. 259. Do you see how that thing doesn't tell me the right thing? That doesn't even make sense, does it? All right. So, anyways, to give you context, right? This is either an anomaly in the media, or this is actually the kind of misdirection that's really happening when you go looking for a person to tell you kind of what to think and do in the marketplaces. So if you read this right and you landed here, you would be like, oh, this is a guy who's like looks pretty reputable. Look at his avatar. He looks like a fucking like well-to-do guy, nice conservative dude in his little sweater and shirt, and he's recognized by London Times, and he's a Forbes contributor. These are all the credentials necessary to tell you what the fuck is going on in capital markets. But where does this guy really come from? So once upon a time, before I had a lot of my Twitter accounts deleted by said assholes, I was able to have a conversation with this prick and kind of get him to fucking spill his guts. So in this, his own website, he tells you the timing of when he actually told you the market was going to explode. This is mid 2004, right? He's posting stuff about this. What he does as a college kid is learn how to SEO market and actually bumps his article up so fucking much that they pick up on it and publish him. He's completely fucking wrong. He actually just manipulates the SEO game enough to get found. He deletes this post when he openly fucking is defending himself as having no fucking idea, because I smack him with this and tell him, hey, you're nowhere near close to predicting the financial crisis. You're fucking like 3.5, 4 years off. Like, you'd have literally gotten fucking steamrolled in anyone who listened to you. So he explains himself as like, well, I was just a 20-year-old kid. I have no fucking idea. I'm not a full-time investor. I'm not shit. So why the fuck are you in Forbes? Get it? He fucking marketed his way into Forbes as a college kid and got recognized for this and is still contributing to it right now. He's a complete shithead. At age 22, he's recognized by Times of London for warning the U.S. housing credit bubble. In 2004, you'd have missed the entire housing boom if you listened to this. And he's clueless and admits it. So he's literally nothing but an SEO marketer who got published. He has what here? Times recognizes the site as one of the 4 most highly trafficked housing bubble related sites. This is an SEO marketing scam. His entire brand is built on being a college kid who figured out how to manipulate Google and get this stupid article from the wrong fucking year into a publication, and has now browbeaten people over the face with it that he's somebody who's here to help you. His entire brand is a fucking complete fucking fraud. So he'll delete anybody who posts this, because I caught him on it. He deleted that stuff because that outs the fact that his entire placement in these publications, if you'd post this motherfucker, they're complete frauds. Forbes is trash. That he could actually manipulate them and say this based on what he did fucking when he was a 23-year-old kid in school. He's trash, and so is the publication he's in. So recognized by trash for being trash and a contributor to more trash. But he disappeared once he tried to call the top again in March, and he hasn't posted in many months. So this guy's a great sentiment read. He pops back up, and I hope you're all doing well, blah, blah, blah. This 2021 was a very dark year for me, and I logged off social media in utter disgust. So because the market did not blow the fuck up, and his entire brand is predicated on calling bubbles, he's disgusted that people did not lose, is effectively what this man is saying. You have to really fucking fully value what the fuck is coming out of this piece of shit's mouth to really like enjoy this. So read this, right? As someone who is deeply concerned about the direction that the world is heading in terms of economic stability, blah, 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 I sunk into a deep state of despair and basically gave up on humanity and the future. This is because the market hit all-time highs. Really read this shit. Does this look like a financial analyst? This is the guy who's telling your fucking grandma what to do with her 401k. This is the people who make you think the fucking credit system is supposed to explode. He has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He's been living off a fucking SEO pump to a fucking stupid article that was mistimed completely on a misunderstanding of the entire credit system. And has been sticking to his guns ever since, misdirecting people. Do you know how many people this guy's had a chance to fuck out of the entire fucking marketplace? That he's been out here for the last fucking since 2009, he's been out here for fucking 12 years just mind fucking people. I've been sickened by the increasingly aggressive censorship in the media, blah, blah, blah. He's like some kind of like televangelist nonsense. In addition, the financial markets are experiencing the most extreme speculative bubble in history, and traders and investors have lost their minds and become brainwashed into believing that the party will never end. Make no mistake, it will end terrible catastrophe. He's been saying this literally for fucking years. Since that article in 2004, the same fucking thing the whole way up. Wall of worry. This asshole is responsible for causing how many people to worry when he has no idea what he's talking about, but his credentials make you think he does. When I saw how delusional financial world was becoming in early 2021, I threw in the towel to trying to warn. At what point does a person admit you don't know what you're talking about? You could just be fucking stupid, right? Markets do two things. They go up and down. If you keep saying down and it keeps going up over and over and you keep fucking saying down, your teacher in any classroom is going to fucking put you in a special education class because you're clearly too fucking stupid for the job, right? But financial fucking pundits get to fucking do this stupid shit like fucking politicians and just lie out of their assholes and not admit they have no idea what they're fucking talking about and derail people financially and take no responsibility. At some point, these motherfuckers need to be held financially to account. I have never given up on my beliefs that the financial mania will end very badly. So I'm not going to stop until I get the crash I call for. And whenever it happens, I'm going to tell you how correct I was by saying the same thing for over a decade. And this guy's either an anomaly in the media or he's every shitbag on fucking every major network that's telling you Armageddon's coming now and how Joe Biden has like the worst rating possible at all-time highs simultaneously. It's this. Markets climb a wall of worry, and it's about perception arbitrage. Here's where the arbitrage of perception comes from and mispriced reality. When the guy leading the crowd is dumber than a sack of fucking rhino shit, the crowd's even dumber than he is if they fucking keep listening to this asshole when he's wrong countless fucking times in a row. But that's everybody, right? That's what's the guy, the Nobel Prize winning piece of shit? What's his face? Robert Schiller. That guy's never been right but one fucking time, and they've shoved him up your asshole for like 20 fucking years, and he's gotten to do the same thing, you know? He's a Yale professor. That guy's teaching your kids exactly how not to have a fucking clue what the hell is going on. It's totally fucking crazy. That's pretty cool. I forgot I could do that. Crazy shit, right? That guy is literally just betting on a crash, really for the benefit. He's just Michael Burry, exactly. Burry literally wants to call the end of Tesla because he got Michael Burry was 2 years off the fucking call of the banking crisis also. He was saying that from 2006. So his whole claim to fame is fucking calling a bubble, and so he's going to call a bubble everywhere because that's what his brand is built on. That's nothing to do with his fucking, his objective analysis. He's just trying to fucking be right again in the exact same fashion. But that happens to everybody. You see these one-shot wonders come out, and their entire fucking fame is built on one technical call. I want you to think about it. That guy is using one call posted in 2004, marketed as correct in 2008, and it's 2020 fucking 2. It is 18 years since he wrote the article. It's 14 years since he fucking got it fucking recognized, and this motherfucker is saying the same call. How many calls have I had that are fucking as notable as getting the banking crisis fucking right on the actual right date? Since that, these guys live off of one single call. A white guy in a suit can make one right call once, sort of, and it's good for a career brand worth millions. One fucking shitty call that he didn't actually get fucking right. And he built an entire fucking journalistic brand from it. What the fuck should my brand be? Based on what you've watched in the show in the last 2 months. I don't know. Seems kind of bogus. What do you guys think? Nah, not bogus? I think I call bullshit on this guy. Deep despair? Somebody should kick you right in your fucking pussy. What a piece of shit. Anyways. Don't follow pussies. What am I doing time? 8:35? I'm actually doing a lot better in time than I expected. So do we got any scorecards today? We've got literally tens of trillions of dollars of market cap gains on this show that are recorded, that are unfucking beyond reproach. You can't challenge that it happened. And on video too, not loosely written in a blog subject to interpretation, directly video captured in the wild Nomics, it's pretty fucking nuts. But for all of you that played it and that show up every day, I appreciate you guys recognizing the work. So that's always cool. Fuck that bullshit media, right? I can't I can't tell you that I would be dying to be recognized by the exact same thing that recognized that guy. So if like Forbes and like London Times are the standard and they recognize that fucking cocksucker, you can leave me out of that publication. I don't want to be in there with that motherfucker. Um, let's see. Best market show out there. I'm glad you dig it. I appreciate that. All right, so there's a couple things I want to get to. I'm gonna do your scorecards, and then I wanted to go over something else. When you put out accurate stuff for precision, nobody wants to hear it because they are on the wrong side and they act like you got lucky. But you know what's crazy? Like I told you, when I was on CNBC, he tried to push me to make a market call to this for something because that's basically how show business works, you know? And he's like, just say anything. And I'm like, nah, it's like, I can't. I was like, I have to give context. I was like, I don't know what resolution of time people are trading in. I like sometimes, you know, if something looks good, it could be fucking along for a fucking like, you know, week. It could be for the whole year. I was like, but each person at home doesn't have any fucking idea on that. I was like, there's no way to give context to everybody at the house. And they want that. They actually want you to say buy now or sell now, and they don't give a shit because the crowd wants that, and they just want the crowd to show up like a gambler for the next hot ticket. The crowd doesn't even care if they're making money. The crowd just wants to fucking go to the horse race and bet a ticket on any horse and go through the excitement of that whole thing. You know, Vegas is not built on people fucking winning in Vegas. It's built on the excitement of the risk, and people live on that, and CNBC feeds that shit. When by, like, exactly. All right, so let's take a look at scorecards and we'll move on to some other interesting things. I think it's time we talk about some things outside of, like, you know, some of the narrow views we've had. We're going to expand a little bit what we talk about. Hopefully touch on some interesting things. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this to work right. Sweet. Okay. What did I do last time? I'm not sure how I'm going to segue into this, but I'll try. All right. So what do we got for... We reload one more time, see if you guys put anything on sub scorecards. 3 scorecards. I'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4 scorecards. This is who's this? Small steps make great work. Slowly getting more confident in being able to use the intel I get around here to put into practice more day by day. Rewatched and studied the shit out of all the OnlyFans training videos. Good job. A little after I have entered Discord, and it was amazing how many more notes I was able to make and grab on way more information in a quicker and better way. I think the plays show the ways we have been taught in OnlyFans, bull flags, volumes, key level rotations, keep it simple, stupid. I am currently making smaller plays to find my way and start being consistent instead of trying to grab every trade. At the end, it's all about R's down the line. When those are coming in consistently, I will change the numbers in the formula and turn the same R's in a higher amount of money. Yeah, that's exactly it. You just want to get a consistent model that works first before you fucking fire a ton of capital into it. Very well said. I journal my trades and the outcomes after exits to be aware of maybe making 2 small plays if I could have gotten more out of it. Building up the data step by step. Starting to also find my way around the Discord and enjoying the voice calls very much. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, Kaz, Vicky, and all the vets that help the new guys get around. Yawns. Yeah, you know, most definitely, man. And as you have a conversation in Discord, it helps you change the way you perceive information and the cognitive, you know, level that you approach it with, and you start to see more out of the exact same shit. That's, you know, why we say markets, you know, not that we say, but markets are 90% psychology, and we have to have that kind of conversation to kind of like get your mind to do what it's supposed to have been doing that it no longer does. And once you can do that, and you can pick up on more information in front of you, you effectively, you know, open the sensor and the camera longer, you pick up more light, you have a much more clear picture of the exact same shit most people right next to you don't see, and it gives you an advantage immediately, you know, versus your former self and anybody like your former self. So repetition is key. Those conversations are more key than most people would believe. It's not all just pretty pictures, you know. In order to get a person to actually utilize this show, we actually have to train our audience. People think it's a joke. But part of the problem in market TV is, one, you have fucking cheerleaders and charlatans like Bubble Boy lying to you about shit they don't understand, telling you what you want to hear and feeding your fear. And then you have a crowd that's fucking susceptible to even listening to an idiot like that and not actually thinking for themselves. So It's it's a two-sided problem. Here you have analyst-driven television, and this is the difference in accuracy with analyst-driven financial television versus what you fucking see with like cheerleader-driven television. And then on top of it, if we can actually help the audience improve their cognitive process that's been smashed down across years of exposure to various like stratas of society that have conditioned the herd to be fucking susceptible to the same stimuli, then you can actually fucking level up the fucking ecosystem in ways that no one can compete with unless they are willing to take the time to do exactly this shit. That is a fucking mouthful. Anyways, whatever. You get it. Smarter audience, you guys make more money. We all fucking learn more shit, and we stay in here and away from fucking stupid shitheads like fucking Bubble Boy, MSM, and all the other things that are happening to people watching those networks. Appreciate the write-up. Who's this? Yawns. Now I know who you are, sir. Good shit. The Junos. What did you do, the Junos? Kaz laid out the ES trade plan on Stream Friday. You guys catch that one? End of Stream Friday? I thought that was pretty dope, right? I squeezed in a play that I know we put in OnlyFans, but didn't have time to port it there and have you guys look through it. I thought it would be useful to drop it on the show just because of where the VIX situation is and stuff, things seem kind of critical. So took the levels and tried to replicate over to NQ futures, watched the ES, NQ, and VIX levels until it triggered, and took the trade off the trade plan levels. Accurate as fuck again. Was able to snag 6 Rs to end the week. Later in a call, Kaz mentioned that this is the type of thing you can do every day. Make a long and short case. You can just trade one asset too. If you trade Apple, have a plan for Apple every day. Really put the keep it simple stupid idea into perspective, as you don't have to do everything. Just 1 to 2 things really well to succeed. Very, very true. Things to work on. Let structures form after the opening bell. Trying to make a plan for the bell usually results in losses and is just a lack of patience. Yeah, trading right off the bell is very dangerous in the market, especially with fucking futures. Patience is a virtue. If you've got a structure coming into the bell, maybe, but the volume surge on the bell can fuck you up. It can be a whipsaw. It's generally safer to kind of wait and let something develop before you step into something as highly levered as that. Don't trade my P&L. I had a technical reason for this. Technical reason to think this could have fetched 10 to 12 Rs, but ultimately mapped out the safer 2 options for the plan because enough is enough for the day. Kaz points out you need R trades plus R trades, simply affording you mistakes on other days, so I can't help but think that what we should be maximizing the R's of inevitable loss streaks that will come. So taking 6 when I could and should take 12 ultimately bite me in the ass. Free rolls exist, of course, but nature of the product can be difficult due to my own risk appetite, something I usually struggle with. Right, this thing is fucking brutal to allow fucking a 12R to come back. It's huge money in futures, so it can be a little mind fucking, but ultimately you have to follow the mechanics of your logic. And if you're allowing this, what you're saying here, this is basically telling you that you're not trading your R, you are still trading your P&L, because this is still this mechanical to anything else, right? Just the numbers are very high in the leverage of futures. So nothing's just changed unless the price structure was vastly different in every other asset you trade. Your logic should still remain the same, high leverage or not. If it doesn't, you're taking on too much risk. What's this? Luke. Very good scorecard and very good memos for everybody else in that last one. Definitely take notes. Gino's puts very good details in his evolution on there, so it's definitely worth reading. Luke had a lot more plays that didn't work out recently than the ones that did, but by keeping my losses relatively small and total R's gain made up for those losses. You are only trying to make more than you risk. 2D show. After reviewing those trades that didn't work well, I realized the problem was overindulging in plays. I was more patient with the plays that worked out and gave it time to really show itself before getting involved. Maybe that is also part where less is more comes into play. Making gains is one part of the equation, preserving what you make is another. The latter is something that I will need to work on, together with getting better exits to maximize the R's from winning plays, cover for those that I lose on. Well, that's a good memo. That's a good thing to keep track of. So yeah, getting gains, keeping, preserving your wins is definitely something, right? Trading away your fucking wins is the problem a lot of people have. A lot of people don't have a problem finding something that wins. They have a problem not touching the things that kill them. And that's where patience is a virtue. There just aren't that many great ideas, not that you yourself are going to be able to process at one moment. That's why I tell you, don't focus on every single symbol on this show. focus on what you can. If you're watching semis and you get some intel here that helps you pay more attention to something specific in semis, do that. But don't try to take down notes on like 5 different sectors and 3 different industries and wonder why you can't hit any of them. It's just too much for any one person. So yeah, less is more in a lot of ways. And then last one, who's this? Nebula 4, that is Karosh. Triple hit with a squad, Nebula 4. What is this? Ford. Oh, you all guys all plowed forward. Very nice. Hitting the stock with a squad. 3 different entries, time frames, same stock. Kazo teaching us how to hunt in these markets. Very good. I like that. Nice and simple. Is that the plays in the lenses? Oh, there they are. They're their plays. Very dope. All hitting forward. Beast mode shit. That's how you do it together. That was good. Cocky with the graphics. Yeah, you gotta be. Gotta enjoy this shit. Triple kills. Money shit, right? I've read books, most of it talking about the style of trade that we do here. I'd say better just read the blog and watch the show. What? I can't get that. Do I recommend reading Brian Shannon's book? Not really. I've definitely improved on things that are ideas he has, and his ideas really don't actually all come from that same place anyway. I actually found where his ideas in that book came from. We deal with the emotional cycle of price in here, but we really do a trend following system that's probably more simplistic than anything he even talks about. There are actually corrections to the emotional structure of price that I've made that are not in his book. And I have to decide if I want to point this out publicly or not, because I should get credit for that. But the emotional structure of price in his book is wrong. So when I found that out, I stopped fucking with that. Yeah, if I showed you how, you'd laugh. It's pretty much everybody's ever had that book's never noticed it. It's one of those things that the kid in like class points out that there's like a whole paragraph that's wrong in world history book. I'm that kid, and his emotional structure of price is actually wrong. Isn't that something? I am the book, Trojan Mama. Shut up, Seekinson. What the fuck? What the fuck would you write that? Way to play the game, my double agent friend. I literally just said shit. Seeker's in that class that blurts out the answer and nobody wants to hear it. So, alright. So, it's 8:49. I want to talk about some interesting things I was looking at. So, everyone's talked about Metaverse. We're going to have a macro section after I talk about this. And I was going to take you guys to look around some interesting stuff that I was seeing and, take a quick peek at some things. So, let me see if I can figure out how to get things situated here. You guys have all heard about Decentraland, right? I don't know how many of our new viewers, I know we have some older viewers here, that maybe have not seen this but have heard about the Metaverse and all that stuff. And I was, going to give you guys a quick little peek at this, and some things we're going to start talking about more and more on this this show. So, land. Decentraland, if you've never seen it, this is Decentraland. This is your Genesis Plaza. This is pretty much where everybody pops into this world. Pretty cool stuff if you guys have never been looking at this. These are on sale lots. All the blue lots are on sale. Give you an idea. These are priced in mana, of course. I thought this place was pretty neat, to see some of the stuff that people are doing in here and building. So you can go in here and hit jump in and actually go down into the spot. And let me not fucking put all my goodies on the screen. Let me just get myself in here. Watch it not work while I'm live. Work, damn it. It'll work. So, how many of you guys have been watching this and following this stuff and checking this stuff out? So this would be my character in Decentraland. If you guys haven't been here before, right? These are people's different plots of land and stuff like that, and you know, people building different things that you can go and do in here and advertise and stuff already. But it's pretty cool to check it out. And right, there are plots for sale in here, and you can check out what some people have developed. You know, ultimately developing here amounts to coders, and you could check out. You know, I don't know if he's got anything on this that I could do with that. No, some people have NFTs already on their walls and stuff like that. Nothing on this guy's wall yet. But definitely some interesting stuff to check out and hear in places that, you know, that things are happening. I can't go out the window yet. Try to jump out the window. Steve has a mansion up in MT World. Yeah, he has that in Sandlot. But yeah, some definitely cool stuff's in there. I was going to show you guys another thing that I found that was pretty cool. So, if you know about RTF KT, they were acquired by Nike, and they're making some interesting stuff that's on Oncyber, which is like a metaverse, just a hub-based metaverse, not really a three-dimensional world. Just basically, you have your virtual space attached to a hub, and it's kind of like it was in World's Chat in the 1990s. But you know, all kinds of interesting things to like look at virtual real estate, which is really at the very inception point. It's not really well developed. You know, Snoop Dogg's in there, and yeah, I think where you see a lot of celebrities definitely makes sense to take a look at. Ultimately, there are guys working on networking all of these metaverses together, and properties in different metaverses, you know, are going to become a fucking very interesting, you know, business in itself. That I think, for a lot, all intents and purposes, could very much, you know, take on a very fractal similarity to property flipping in today's world, just in the virtual sense of it, you know. So I was going to show you guys something here. Let's see if I can show you this. So this is Oncyber. Oncyber is a pretty cool place. You can take a look around at this place. And here, you know, you can go to 3D Studio. And actually, this is like my pod where I'm going to go up in here and I'm going to start adding some NFTs and things that we're going to produce from some of our historic market calls that are definitely better than Bubble Boys, right? I think they are anyway. So this pod's going to be dope. What I intend to do here, you know, ultimately, the Nomics pod, you'll be able to go to it and check it out, walk around the house and everything like that. And we want to eventually have, you know, virtual meetups in here where we'll do like OnlyFans training for some exclusive NFT owners of Nomics artwork. So this will be something that we'll be developing on the show, and I think, you know, help learn together about virtual spaces, virtual real estate, and some of the ideas that you can do in this place. So look forward to that. That'll be some interesting stuff for you guys. We'll probably put out something. It'd probably be very limited. Just like, you know, our classes, we don't really go over 40 people. But we want to do a virtual reality meetups here where we do like trading ideas and, you know, preps and things like that in a virtual space with, you know, people who are career trader minded, of course. If an NFT is going to buy you access to my private room, then you have to be a person that's actually want to do this for a living, not just some random pleb. But this is going to be something that we intend to, you know, to really develop here and move Winternomics TV into the metaverse. So I think this is going to be pretty cool, you know. It's going to be disease free. I think everybody can appreciate that, right? So it's going to be something pretty cool, and who knows, maybe you guys pick up a pod next to me. But there's going to be some cool shit in there, you know, those kind of pods are already mooning. One of my buddies who's an old Winter Soldiers alumni, you know, actually dropped me that one. Very cool, and that thing's already gone up like, I think, 3x. Virtual properties are going to have like future utilities, and there's going to be additional utilities that come out as they develop the metaverse. So we're going to bring Winternomics TV to the metaverse, and we can give you a chance to own some historic market analysis that is one of a kind. and give you guys access to fucking enhance your game even more than you already have access to now. So we're gonna try to keep it fun and make sure it's always worth your time to fuck with it. But yeah, pods are definitely interesting to check out. I think that's something they're gonna keep building utilities into these things, and people who own some of these products that are coming out right now while they're working at Wildfire to like build the metaverse, just the sheer ownership of many of these things that are coming out and give you access to airdrops on other valuable limited collectibles that are taking off. And there's huge investment opportunities outside of what people are seeing with like crypto punks and all this stuff. They're like, don't know how to get into Bored Apes. But I think land speculation in the metaverse is probably one of the most interesting avenues. We talked about music. When you look at Nas is about to drop an NFT right now that gives you access to royalties and access to him. And that's why I told you it's going to be a real game changer. When you can fucking buy, even when the customer can go directly to the artist and the artist can fucking make a deal with the customer where you can profit share with him and the success of an album, that's a whole different kind of fan. So there is like really, really fascinating stuff out there. I know artwork stuff is going to continue to be a thing. But real estate and the utility, that's going to be there. And when the virtual space builds up, having locations close to fucking Snoop Dogg, being able to throw a party, people being, where people originate into the land and your proximity to that point so that the highest traffic sees you, there's going to be all kinds of crazy business opportunities where you can, basically you're watching the evolution of the workforce, right? As automation and space cash comes about, it seems like the bulk of the workforce that was going to be worthless is going to be able to go into a tokenized economy and generate some kind of fucking return rather than be fucking put onto, universal basic income. It's no wonder, right? Think about it. We're about to start sailing around the solar system, and most of the population is going to end up in a fucking place where they're not paying attention to any of that stuff. That's pretty fascinating. Not to mention, right, it's literally the land of the beta. Everything that was like, what I grew up on, the alpha male, fucking Schwarzenegger, Rambo. Right now, your alpha male is Zuckerberg, right? The guy who fucking, like, literally is only going to get pussy in the virtual world. So what do you think the metaverse really is? It's really the fucking place that levels the playing field for the beta. It's kind of fascinating if you think about it like that, isn't it? Your physical status matters not. Your money matters not. How good a coder you are is everything. So it's an interesting space that's coming into being as space cash is happening. It's kind of like a fucking distraction really for the masses while they go out there and seize another planet. But that's a whole nother conversation. The Adidas NFT is dope, and I would pay attention to the Betaverse. I would pay attention to anything else you see, like, dropping from huge companies like that, like Adidas. They're not just dropping something for like, a quick cash grab right now. They have planned, built-in utility that's going to make it worthwhile for the people who are early to grab some of these NFT products that come from Adidas and those big players that are doing shit like this. I would definitely pay attention to it. But like I said, we're going to take a look a lot more. And, if you guys know anything about me, I was a pretty large foreclosure dealer in Central Florida and helped structure a lot of the big foreclosure wholesale companies that transact ass loads of fucking, distressed property. There is nothing different about what I'm seeing available as an opportunity in the virtual world, and a virtual world that lacks a lot of the regulatory infrastructures that are in place. Real estate flipping here is like fucking, kind of equates to the Wild West crypto 2014 market with fucking like, price tags that look like fucking regular real estate property. There is crazy opportunities when markets are unstructured. So that's kind of what I'm telling you. When the market is really structured and there is regulations that catch up to it, a lot of efficiencies will happen. That will take away a lot of opportunities. But for right now, hell, wait till the fucking mortgages arrive. You've got fucking property. You've got property on blockchain. You can make smart contracts that in the event of non-payment, default is fully automated. And there is no actual legal infrastructure to foreclosures. There is a whole fucking like market waiting to be developed. When you apply leverage to fucking, virtual assets in a deflationary chain, you have fucking the pump of the ages in virtual real estate available to you if they apply fucking credit to this thing. Right now, real estate is a cash-based market in there. But if they figure out how to create a lending fucking infrastructure into virtual real estate, this gets fucking huge, Extortion in the metaverse, yeah. Every single crime that we can possibly expect is going to happen in there. It is 9 o'clock. I'm not going to do any symbols, but I am going to give you guys a once-over on macro before I let you go because I got to do that because the market's in a crazy place. So let me go skip through that real quick and then let you guys out of here, okay? DeFi, virtual real estate, why not? I don't know. DeFi right now, DeFi is just a Ponzi scheme, right? And don't get me wrong, what they're doing with a lot of NFT products and having you hold them to get access to future projects really amounts to the same thing you're seeing with like the wrap token kind of like high yield DeFi scheme, which is taking the rewards from staking coins and creating a fucking staking pool for the rewards to stop the deflation of the primary chains. That's the same thing. Hold my fucking NFT till I release another NFT so we don't fucking crash the first fucking NFT. And, hopefully we build something that has some utility and people actually want this shit. DeFi really is just a mathematical Ponzi with no real asset with any utility, creating chain within chain within chain to stop the deflation of each chain and allow the Ponzi mechanics to inflate them fucking with a slow deflation. But make no mistake, like when the regulators catch up to what's going on in DeFi, I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time fucking selling that they were doing something ethical inside that marketplace. It's complicated specifically so people don't realize it's a load of garbage, All right, so I have to crank out something useful to you guys. Hold on, let's do this. So, Supreme Being is on our ass. Put that VIX chart, check this out inside of OnlyFans. So, there's Goku's treatment, the bear flag we watched before, right? Goku's jellyfish. I don't know what the jellyfish is even about. Do you remember? At any rate, we got a level here we're keeping eyes on. We roll out this bear flag. That was going to be critical, right? Here's pre-market. Looks like Goku's jellyfish. Giving us a catalyst right out of the bear flag. So we're diving down deeper. This is all back off right now, right? You're back inside here like we talked about the Fed taper. The taper started for the Fed mid-November, they said. So it's like somewhere in here, actually. So since here, you've decelerated the market. Market's basically flatlined. You're inside here right now in the bear flag. You're back in this whole range. This all kind of says back the fuck off, while this happens. Qs have just broken under this box range. We said it would be dangerous if you did that. The real gas is coming on fucking growth assets. Art K, Kathy Big Penis, is getting it right in the fucking nuts, right? So this is probably a great barometer right now because she's so fucking growth tilted. This crash cycle that we've got a clear crash cycle pattern on this thing right now. Climax, complacency, wreck. This climax structure, or what's going to be a gigantic bull flags, bottoming and rotation, is probably going to be indicative of when this entire de-risk stops. While the Fed is doing the taper, the Fed creates a massive headwind to risk assets, and we can really see a rotation here, but it's not everything is gloom and doom, right? Caterpillar and guys like this that we put into OnlyFans for you guys to pay attention to. I think this is the cat chart, right? Cat chart's over here. Yeah, this is the cat chart. Right, we put this into OnlyFans to pay attention to, right? These guys, the infrastructural guys, are starting to rotate and get fucking a headwind while getting a tailwind, while risk growth assets are getting fucking absolutely butchered. But you look at stuff like this, you look at fucking BRK, of course Berkshire, right? These guys are going moon. Financial assets are going fucking crazy right now. So there's just a big ass rotation happening in the marketplace. If you're staying at growth assets, it looks like Armageddon. But right now, you're just catching a crazy ass rotation away from growth assets, tech, and into stuff that's like industrial and some of the banking guys. Like JP Morgan. See, these guys are actually up pre-market while tech is down. So to see the gap down in S&P and see these gapping up, what you really have is basically a rotation across market. We looked at this when we looked at Zoom CCL, right? A rotation away from fucking like social fucking businesses to anti-social businesses that hit from the pandemic. In this situation, you're looking at like JP Morgan rotating financial assets, rotating on like fucking software, right? This massive rotation right here is really just a rotation internally within the S&P that you could be missing it if you just stare at them broadly in the indexes. But this entire spike you're seeing coming out of last year is really the fucking movement of financials while fucking risk assets, growth assets get blown the fucking way. So structurally, these guys look good. That's like a really wordy way of like fucking stop staring at tech. But yeah, that was the simple of it. If you got that. So these are some simple assets you look at, right? Here's pre-market. I arranged this so you could kind of see it. Like some big financials. Notice all the financials green pre-market. Notice fucking all of tech jet red. All of discretionary housing. So like fucking this is kind of what you're seeing, right? The market really is just getting hammered across the board. Outside of financials, everything looks like fucking death. Now, in a VIX spike, it's kind of dangerous to fuck with it, right? This thing is basically a sign the market is de-risking, and has a chance of de-risking further. So I would pay attention to this. I dropped it inside of fucking OnlyFans. So this same chart's in there for you guys to save and take a look at a little closer. DXY things, right? In a de-risking event, DXY tends to be strong. So we said pay attention to this guy. You can see right here, DXY thing's taking a little pump right now. We had a bull flag in here to pay attention to. And generally, the dollar is strong when the market and globe is de-risking right now. So those things are still intact. That is coming over to crypto. We talked about this back in this blog post. Right? So back when the taper happened, basically the Fed did something similar to 2014 and 15. They put a headwind into the market and strengthened the dollar. And we created this chart to show you guys what happens in a strong dollar situation, right? Strong dollar as a denominator of BTC, pound, euro, gold, oil stocks is going to create a fucking headwind to the numerator, right? So in this situation, you have a strong dollar situation and a Fed taper, a deflationary pressure. You've got basically the same kind of effect. Oil is definitely an outperformer right now. Energy looks interesting because it has such relative strength. But a strong DXY creates a headwind to like pretty much everything, makes the dollar like the safest place to be. And that's pretty much what the USD lira, I think, was telling everybody. So that being said, this is something to keep in mind, right? When the Fed was tapering, this was the situation. Pretty much nothing was a good idea but the dollar. And we know that they intend to do this till March. So this is something I want to put on your radar if you've never read this post. It's pretty simple. Most everything you care about is actually on the chart, because back here I didn't know how to write blogs. I just wrote everything on the fucking chart. So go check this guy out. It's written back in whenever the fuck, 2014. And this was me trying to explain the exact same situation that smashed BTC from fucking where it was here when I wrote the article in July. BTC is still coming off of like 600, and it gets blasted down into fucking 150 in the following year as this pressure continues and the DXY remains strong. So how much pressure can be on crypto? This is worth noting, right? Because crypto just didn't budge with the market, and the DXY is strong, and you have some conditions that do mirror this going on right now with the Fed. So context things, right? I'm going to put that out there for you guys. So that's a whole lot of stuff there. So that's talking about crypto broadly. So let's look at crypto then with what we're seeing. We talked about levels that we need to keep eyes on for this last week, right? If we got below here, we had this arrow telling you that we could just fucking eat it, which we are. We're pounding it down now. And so now you at least have a structured downtrend. You've taken out this low. You need a rotation. So if you're not in this resolution, this probably doesn't matter. If you're in some higher res, this probably doesn't matter. But as far as near term people, 3 hours, this is a pretty decent correction that we're seeing, coming off 60 from November. And this is the taper. This is the vertical we put for the taper. So the Fed taper stalled the stock market and crushed, I guess what you would call, higher beta risk assets that are supposedly, inflation hedges. So this is still putting pressure on everything right now. Your ETH BTC trade is a different trade than this altogether. This broken level, broke bull flag. This structurally does not look good. And it looks like, right now, you're in just a much larger corrective thing. You could compare this kind of structure now to the correction of Tesla in one of his many pumps on the way up into all-time highs where he took massive corrective structures. Having failed this now and failed the bull flag, this is kind of requires patience. Can you stall here? Absolutely. But like I told you guys, if LTC fucking let go grandma, it's granny packs, right? So this is kind of basically your good barometer of risk. As soon as grandma lets go, pretty much everybody gets their fucking faces punched in. And right now, this structure doesn't look good. Can this exhaust? It could near term. You would have to keep track of them like this to kind of watch for a rotation out of that. But right now, like I said, on like any higher resolution, this looks pretty fucking unhealthy to say the least. Total is not on that chart. Total is still pulling down, and this could become a larger bull flag, and structurally it doesn't feel as bad as I guess ETH looks. And if it holds anywhere above this and rotates, it's just it's a higher low. You can look at it like floor. If he does anything like this and comes down and does this again on a bigger res, it's going to be fine. But up close and personal right now, if we look at where the Fed is saying that they're going to taper to, you talk about March. This is November to March is like mid-March is where the taper is expected to end. That kept on following that track and that trajectory, this would still set a higher floor and be technically sound. So at this point, right, patience to allow this thing to turn to however big a flag he's going to be and rotate is probably the most prudent action for anybody that's not more nimble to deal with lower resolutions. Sorry, that was like the wordiest version of that, and you're probably seeing bubbles and shit floating around in your screen right now, and you feel like your head's spinning, but that's all I can do to pack it all into the end of the show and make sure you guys have context on that. So step back, let markets de-risk if they're going to continue to do that. Always watch the VIX chart. 21 is your key swing level. You've got major levels on there with Supreme being and bar Nomics above it. So pay attention to that. If you're going to get a bounce in the session, VIX is, a good asset to watch is the VXX. That's your 9:30 to 4 o'clock trading VIX. If that guy drops on the opening and sustains that drop, and S&P is better than its opening, then you just have to look at what's strong. Tech right now doesn't look good, but if we're going to get a bounce, you might see you have a vicious squeeze in that marketplace. But you want to see a couple metrics be okay. You want the VIX to not be positive on the day. And you want to see the S&P carry some amount of strength, not just some like outside couple guys strong, but like the base, the major market. Crypto things, like we said, right? Keep your eyes on what you're watching with LTC's levels. For a lot of people who like look in OnlyFans, I've got actually a lot of unsubscribes since the training video because a lot of people are looking for the next post. Remember, all of crypto, BTC, ETH, LTC, all of the levels, they're actually in the cheat sheet levels that were posted many months ago. So I don't need to update those. You just need to pay attention to the pivots that you have in those levels and the big levels, and they work just the same when we come back. So LTC is now broken the key ranges that are inside of OnlyFans. Go back to that sheet, pay attention to that sheet. I'll give you updates when I think there's something worth giving an update to from what's happening beyond what we've looked at here. ETH BTC, BTC USD, ETH USD, LTC USD, and Total 2 all have ranges that you are inside of right now. They're worth paying attention to. So make sure you guys go pick those back up at OnlyFans. I'm going to announce another training, OnlyFans training for you guys. Probably not this week. I'm probably going to do it for next week. And next show, we'll take a vote on what day you guys want to do that on. I was thinking about the OnlyFans prep on Sunday, and I thought about it. I need the resolution of this screen to really do baskets and stuff like that. So I'll do some kind of prep through where I can do this template, not OnlyFans, where I can have this kind of resolution, so we can start breaking down sectors and stuff together and developing plays going into the week for for crypto, forex, and stocks. And then we're going to start talking about property in the metaverse pretty soon as part of our asset mix. So as we develop that pod and NFTs that are going to go inside of it, we're going to start developing the metaverse marketplace and teaching you guys about real estate in the virtual world. So I think that's going to be a fun journey for everybody. Till then, y'all motherfuckers stay safe. Catch you on the flip. All right, peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.